If I could go back in time and learn one thing, I'm gonna tell it to you right now. It's this. You can only pick one thing that you want out of life, and if you pick the wrong thing, you'll never really be successful. The worst thing in life is to get older and realize you got good at the wrong thing. I see people that are very wealthy, but I don't admire them. In fact, the best test is, I call it the exchange test. Would you trade lives? And the reason that almost anybody I meet, I wouldn't trade lives for them, it's not because they're not smart, it's not because they're not good people. It's because, one simple thing, they're optimizing for the wrong thing. So let's say you say, I want to be an entrepreneur. That's not something you should optimize for. That's ridiculous. Here's why. You have one life. Maybe we go to heaven or hell after, maybe there's an afterlife, maybe there isn't. I've never been there, so I can't speak on it. But I can tell you, you get one chance on this planet. And if you optimize for an entrepreneur, what about your health? What about love? What about happiness? I know miserable entrepreneurs that are fat, out of shape. I don't want to be them. I know a dude that, not a close friend of mine, but a friend of an entrepreneur friend, and this guy's a billionaire. But he's so fat he can't get out of bed. He's $2 billion, he has a private 747 jet. So would I want to be him? No. He optimized for the wrong thing. He optimized to make $2 billion, but he forgot, why would you want to have $2 billion if you don't have health? That guy got good at the wrong thing. It's irrefutable. You cannot argue with that. Why would you give your health up to gain money? There's a few people that I've met that when I look back, I'm like, you know, one of them, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not everything, but he was healthy, he was strong, he changed the world, he made gyms hot. Gyms come from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He made that shit hot. All the gyms all over America is from Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. He motivated people, became a self-made millionaire before 30. He wanted to act. Acting's an art. He was an artist. He became, maybe he wasn't the best actor in the world. He's not bad. He got the good life. His son was there, his kids were there at his house. He's happy, he's friends, he's got a social life. You gotta have health, wealth, love, happiness. If you at any point optimize for anything that doesn't involve all four of them, you're making the biggest mistake in the world. Entrepreneur people go, I want to become an entrepreneur. No, you don't want to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a means to an end. You don't want to live your life lifting weights. It's a means to an end. Entrepreneurialism, capitalism, democracy, they're all an end. They're all a means to the end. And there's only one end, and that's a good life. Now, everyone will define good life a tad bit different. You know, for some people, good life is you travel a lot. But there's some common factors that all people are saying. Every fucking person watching this, there's no argument. You must be relatively lean with your life. I'm gonna make this real blunt for you. You cannot be overweight. I don't care what anybody tells you. What will a smart scientist tell you? You gotta be lean. Now, you don't have to be anorexic, but you have to be lean. So you have to optimize in order to get the good life, to have your hormones churning at the right pace. To be happy is your happiness is predicated on your hormonal balance. You get too much estrogen, you get too much testosterone, you get too much cortisol, too much estradiol. These things mess with you. So a lot of these the simplest predictor of you having screwed up hormones are things like body fat. Now, again, I'm not saying everybody needs to look like a runway model. That's not even what you need to optimize for. But if that's not a big consuming part of your life, I don't give a shit if you live here in Beverly Hills. I'll have a better life than you. Guaranteed. You can make $2 billion, I'll make $100 million, and I'll live long enough to enjoy it. I'm not talking about me specifically. I'm right? In fact, you can substitute you for me. You. Let somebody else make $2 billion and get so fat that they lay in a bed for the rest of their life. Let them do it. That ain't your concern. You can mention it, lend a helping hand, and try to guide them back, but like Alan Nation told me, don't try to teach a pig to fly. You can't do it and it bothers the pig. Most people aren't going to listen to this advice. I've always said the best advice nobody will listen to. It's too good. Love, happiness, social life. This one is even more important in many ways than health. If I had a choice between being overweight and having a lot of good people around me, I'd be overweight and have good people around me. Versus be super skinny, super lean, super fit, and nobody likes me. So your social skills is very important. And it's not just social skills. It's not just how to win friends and influence people. It's how to win friends and influence the right people. Because let's be honest here, if you've been on planet Earth for more than 10 or 15 years, you are highly and acutely aware of the fact that most people do not have your best interests at heart. If at the end of your life you look back and you go, you had a good life, you won. Now, I will tell you, finances do play a part in that. If you have de-optimized your financial life, whether it be you're a slave to somebody underpaying you, not delivering value to you, whether you have a job that's not aligned with your personality, there's genetic factors that tell you what career you should choose. Most people pick the wrong career. Why? Because nobody told them. I mean, it almost makes me sick. There's parents out there telling their kids to become dentists so they'll make more money when the kid's artistic. No. If you have kids and they're genuinely talented artists, let them be an artist. I had someone Snapchat me. I get 5,000-10,000 Snapchats a day. Somebody said, Tai, I've been a classical pianist since I was like 8 and I'm like 25 and my parents are pressuring me to give it up because they say there's no money. I'm like, fuck them. Just because they're parents don't mean they'll give you good advice. Trust me, parents' interests are not always aligned with their children. You don't believe me? Read Evolutionary Psychology textbook by Dr. David Buss. Parents have 50% of your genes, not 100%. Only you have 100%. Parents will often pick favorites. They will often want to live out their fantasies through you. They'll often be fear-based. Be a poor artist better than a wealthy dentist and you hate it. Now, I believe, and the good news for the parents is, you can become a classical pianist and using modern entrepreneurial skills and modern social media skills, I believe you can make a good living. You might not be the next Bill Gates. You will not be the next Warren Buffett if you're a classical pianist. There's no chance. But who cares? You can still, for you, be experiencing the mental state of I'm living a good life, which is the only goal to optimize. All you people watch, I know tie-in entrepreneurs, follow me, you guys making 100 million, doesn't mean I give a shit about you. Doesn't mean I envy you at all. What does it profit a man to have all the money in the world but eat shitty food? The first thing I do when I make money is eat better food. That's the most primal need of humans. Buy a better mattress. Fuck it, let your business be slower. Don't be like, and people are out there telling you, optimize, no, sleep on a fucking floor for 10 years. Well, there's a balance. You can be frugal, but you shouldn't, don't be eating ramen. Are you people eating ramen 5-10 years? Fools. If you let your health deteriorate, and then you become the next Steve Jobs, and you start Apple, which is now the largest market cap company, who cares if you're dead? Nobody, you will be forgotten. You will be forgotten. People are forgotten. And even if you're not forgotten, who cares? You ain't alive. You could die at any moment. So why would you not optimize for 19? And then once you get 20, you optimize for 20. Again, you can plan for the future and a wise person saves money for the future and all that stuff. All that common sense stuff still applies within the worldview and the frame that I'm giving you. I am not Epicurean. I am not saying do cocaine. I'm not saying YOLO, you only live once. I'm saying you optimize for the moment, but in optimizing for the moment, you also predict that you'll probably be alive tomorrow. So you do too much cocaine, you're not optimizing for the good life because cocaine will increase your chance of, fucking dying for tomorrow. So it's a balancing act of long and short term. Most entrepreneurs, very long term. I've fallen in this trap. I'm as guilty as anybody. I'm telling you the hard way. I learned the hard way, and I didn't learn as hard of a way because I had smart mentors. If you want to, I don't know, become an artist, you better start painting today. You want to play piano? Get on it. Don't be doing this shit. Well, I used to have a business partner who always tell me he's going to lose weight in 3 months. 3 months. He was always like, I need about 3 months to gear up for it and stretch. I'm like, no, you don't. And I can predict you'll never do it. You optimize for right now. You watch this video, go do something. Go do something that brings you the good life. But no, there's certain objective things. Don't, because people become delusional about the good life. They say, well, the good life for me, Tai, doesn't entail physical health. Nah, really? You know, my mentor, Joel Salatin, he eventually became a millionaire. But he got the good life. He's got health, wealth, love, happiness. He changed the world. He enjoys the moment. He has beautiful farms, you know, land. He married his high school sweetheart. They're still happily married. He's got kids. His grandkids still around him. Like, that's what you want. Everything else, and don't believe the bullshit, because it's easy to make a social media video that makes other shit look glamorous. But at the end of the day, we haven't even talked about happiness. Do you wake up feeling energized? I got a lot of good people now. You know, my grandma, my mom, my brother, some of my brothers work for me, my cousins work for me. I see them. I got good childhood friends. One of the people who runs one of my companies we've been friends since I was 2 years old. He has my back. I got all old friends. I don't have me no conversate with the fake. That the hip hop song, that part. I got that part too. And you can do it too. Again, I'm not bragging. I'm showing you what I wish somebody had showed me. And nobody teaches this shit in school. You learn about isosceles triangles and fucking retarded stuff. You should burn down most of the education system in most countries in the world. There's great teachers and there's people with good hearts, but you talk about blind leading blind. People tell you take the job that takes the most money. Well, if you got 2 equal jobs that you like equally, then take the one that gives you the most money. But never pick the wrong career over money, or you will be the richest man in the graveyard. Be like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett says every day, he's 88 years old, I think. He was born in 1925. No, I forget what year. A little earlier. And he says every day he wakes up and tap dances to work. He loves what he does. If you don't have the tap dance effect in your life and you're following some path that won't most likely bring you, you're a fool. Don't be a fool. Literally. We live in a world of, unfortunately, where you and I got tricked by fools. So don't believe what dumb people say.